Okay, so hello, you all watching this first, or maybe one of the first Awaken Realm AMAs. My name is Paweł, I'm known as Sambor, and I am the author of Stalker, the board game. And to my left is Piotr, and to my right is Filip. And they are some parts of the team which worked with me on this magnificent undertaking. And without further ado, I will give the floor to them to explain shortly what they were working on in this particular project. So Piotr, maybe you'll start?
Thank you very much. Hi guys, I am the project manager for Stalker, the board game. So I took care of the timelines and all the processes. So it was my responsibility to let us and help us, the whole team, to deliver this on time, or at least with the smallest possible delay.
Okay, and I'm Filip. I was a developer when working on Stalker game, and my job was to make all the crazy ideas Sambor had to happen in the game, and to test those to make sure that the players will love them.
All right, so the guys told you what they were doing in the project. Of course, that wasn't all they were doing. Like
Some main parts.
Yeah, so like the basics, so to say. And yeah, maybe let's start with the first question. We will be drawing them from the box. So here we go. It's locked. Yay. Okay, so Filip, would you like to draw the first one?
Sure.
Let's go.
Okay. Oh, that's one for me actually. How do you approach testing the game, mechanics and features to ensure that a given expansion mechanic feature is not only nice by itself, but intervenes well with the rest of the massive game? Okay, so this is a tricky one because we had a lot of small things to the game, some modules that we had to make sure that they work nicely together. And the first thing we did was to try them one by one, not to make the game too complicated, and then after making sure that each part worked properly by itself, we combined them. We even made some parts of those mechanics as a part of the certain scenarios, certain missions, and overall testing. Yeah, so it was a lot of testing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a word on this one?
Give me a second. I will just check it. Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty much like Filip said. We sometimes were adding new stuff after we were just sure that previous stuff we already had was working, so to say.
Yeah. Sometimes we had to change some things.
Yeah, of course.
Some tweaks, small tweaks, bigger tweaks. Throwing something totally out of the game and then trying to make it from the scratch once again. But yeah, overall it came out nicely.
Yeah, this modularity which you mentioned, I think that's the biggest part when you are doing something this big.
Yeah.
Like you need to have modules to put them in and out of the game to see how it fits and how it works. All right, let's go for another one. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Here you go.
Are there any mechanics you wish you had kept but just couldn't make work for this game, decided that they wouldn't be a good fit? Okay, so I will leave the floor mostly to the other guys, because I'm the project manager, not the designer for this game.
But he was playing the game.
But I was playing the game also, and I had one idea for a component from the second wave that we actually have on this table. Could you pass the die? Paweł.
Yes, I
Yeah,
could.
so you know, this is the special magnet die that comes in the second wave, and at some point we just didn't have any idea on how it should work, and I had a random thought that Paweł for a short moment of time liked that you would just roll this die and accept all of the symbols that turn out on the die. The die was much less regular at this time, and we thought that it might be left in the game, but eventually we decided to change it. I'm a bit sad, but
At one point, no one exactly was sure which symbols were actually showing, and it was a
Yeah.
huge discussion over the table. And we wanted you not to have this type of discussion
Yep.
when playing. Philip, do you have any?
I think that I was the one
Favorites?
who told you that this will not work, so probably you have some more things that you wanted to put in the game, but
Okay, so I will start at the beginning. At one point, the game, the very earliest prototypes, it was a little bit different than the game we shipped with. The scale was a bit different, and it had a bit more freer, I would say, zone exploration phase. So you had locations on the big world map, and then you would go into location, you would set it up randomly, but it was so complicated to actually set up the map, and some of the scenarios there were just not very interesting, so to say. So I had to abandon this idea because it would take too much time to actually implement it and make it work in the game. So yeah, I think that's the one I regret not having in the game the most.
I have to reread the question.
Yeah, go on.
I'm not sure if that's a mechanic, but it was a part of one of the scenarios. I wanted to make a vertical tile,
I know which one.
and I really tried to make it happen with some small tokens that you could put inside the map tile. And you had to use some standees to make this happen, so it would stand vertically. But when we started putting some more miniatures on those little tokens, the whole thing collapsed, and we just couldn't make it happen. But it was a nice touch because it resembles climbing onto. I don't know if I should tell about this. This is a spoiler?
No, I don't think so.
This is. I won't tell about this. You will maybe.
You will
find
see
out.
where it fits in the second wave.
Yeah, because it's about the second wave. So yeah, you could be climbing, but we made it so this works on a regular map. And some parts of the map just resembles each combination of the thing you climb on. I don't want to say the name.
Terrain feature.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this one is big.
scary.
Whoa. Okay. I will go with this one. Can we please get a milk item added into the game, particularly for Jordan? And my answer is simply no. Do you want to say anything about it?
We might have been able to add it if we got this question much earlier, but you know, now it's all in production and in shipping, and it's just impossible.
The only type of milk in Stalker is condensed milk, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
This one looks like a big one as well. Okay. As someone who loves the more realistic, darker type of writing, like we saw in This War of Mine, how do you feel how dark to get with the text? personally, I really liked the way the small scripts were written. Felt very good in terms of getting you into the world of Stalker. I will go with this one.
Okay,
Sure.
Because I was
Go on.
doing most of the briefs for our main writers, and I was doing a lot of those smaller texts. So basically, how do we know when it feels stalkery enough? It's a bit of a thing like when you are playing these games for a long time, you get a feeling that this is right or not. When you are doing LARPing, like I did back in the day, especially Stalker LARPing, and Piotr is still doing around, you get this feeling like this is in character, so to say. They used to joke about me in this project that I'm this guy who comes in and tells them that, no, this is not stalkery enough. And I was doing this quite a lot, obviously.
All the time, actually.
Yeah, because, come on.
quite a lot is enough, not all the time.
Yeah, so those small scripts, like this is Eastern European world. I mean the zone. So those people are usually some kind of maybe not entirely okay with the law and stuff like that. So you need to be a bit like a tongue in the cheeky in the terms of delivering stuff. Sometimes those understatements and sarcastic, ironic things are useful and work quite well in it. And yeah, this world is brutal, and the game, I hope, reflects that. So the writing had to be this a bit grittier, darker thing. For the game to deliver the right atmosphere. When we were meeting with the GSC to talk about the game, they told us that they think that this is not post-apocalyptic per se. They said something like, one of their narrative designers said something like, it's Eastern European grimdark. And that like clicked in my head because yeah, that works as an explanation, so we were aiming for this thing. Yeah, so... Okay, so let's go with Piotr.
Okay, yeah, I see why you gave me this. What was each team member's favorite thing about the board game process? Any design that you particularly loved and knew this is it? So yeah, I'm all about the processes in this project. Even though I jumped in the middle of it, because I wasn't working at the time of GameFound campaign. But I will let you start with the
Me? No.
Philip, go with your favorite design process, and I'll follow up
Favorite
later.
thing about the board game process? Any design that you particularly loved and knew this is it? Wow, this is a hard one. I'm not sure what to say. I just gotta think about it for a moment. If you have anything to tell right off the top, you can
I
go ahead.
know what you say actually. For me, anomalies and all the mechanics around it.
A good one.
Yeah, I took the easy way out because I always wanted to have bolts in the game as a component, as a really useful component for the players. The players from the very beginning asked about being able to make decoys so enemies will go toward somewhere where they want them to go instead of where their AI asks them to go. So that was one of the reasons we had bolts in the game, but obviously the first and the main reason was because you need bolts to go through the anomalies, and for a long time this mechanic was not so good, and then one day I think it was Conrad, one of the over-developers in the game, who came up with this. You guys actually came up with the overlay idea.
I'm not sure who came up with
That's the thing with the ideas. At some point they are not your idea or my idea, they are ours idea.
Yeah, this brainstorm's idea.
Yeah. So they are like collective idea, and that's a good thing about the ideas. And how it works in the game. I really enjoy that you have this almost tactile feeling, like you are dropping those bolts on the overlays, and this way you can make this safe way to go through the anomaly. Personally, if I would have my word, they would be much more deadlier than they are in the game, but yeah, this guy.
Yeah, I like to make things a little bit easier. So
On the players.
So, yeah, on the players, so we're not struggling that much. Maybe some of you guys don't like it, so sorry, that's my fault.
The next thing, the director's cut edition with all the difficulty level 200% more.
Okay, so I really like balancing stuff, cranking numbers. So I was thinking about the times I had to like change some weapons to make them rather available options, so you don't have something that is clearly worse or clearly better, unless the Stalker words just tells me that okay, this was a good weapon, you have to make it good. So then I made it better. But the whole balancing stuff was a great ride for me. I love to make things work. So when I see something underpower or overpower, I love to just tweak some numbers, and that's just my thing. And I had a lot of fun when doing this.
Filip was the guy who was trying to beat the game using only PMM.
PTM.
Yeah, PTM. Yeah.
the basic, the cheapest,
cheapest
pistol. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of success with doing it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I had the really wide eyes looking at how he is,
Yeah, but,
going through the missions.
but it was a really specific build. But if
it
you want to play with a pistol, I really suggest you try to beat the game with PTM. If the difficulty level is too low, just grab PTM and try your best to beat it with PTM. Maybe that's why it's too easy.
Well, and coming back to me, so I actually love that we are making a lot of iterations in our board game making process. So we check something, we change it again, we make lots of prototypes, and when I look back on all the iterations, of the road that we went through, and then I see the final product or the semi-final product in our final prototype, when the cards finally look like the real cards for the game and not some white pieces of paper with lots of scribbles. It's amazing.
Another one. Okay. Oh, I like this question very much. Okay. Was there ever a moment when you really wanted to do something, but VIP tie-in held you back? Yes. Yes, now the game is out, the computer game is out as well, so I think we are okay to say that. During one of our discussing the setting and what we want in the game and what GSC wants us to have in the game meetings, we were showing them our ideas for the additional mutants. We wanted to add something from us to the world, and one of the company owners, Adrian, is a huge fishing fan, fishing enthusiast. So we were thinking to add something as a bit of a tongue-in-the-cheek nod to him, because he's also a great Stalker fan. And we came up with the idea of okay, so in the zone you have those, we already saw the designs from GSC by then. So for example, you have this pseudo-deer mutant in the Stalker 2. You have flashes, for example, which are like regular mundane animals but made warped by the zone. and we wanted to go in this direction a bit to explore this idea. So we came up with idea of making this. I think it's pike, the English name for the fish. This predatory fish which lives in the sweet water, with barracuda, like I'd say, and we wanted it to be an enemy which crawls on the land a bit. It's not so fast, but it's really deadly if it catches you, and it's 100% deadly when you are near the water, so a bit like a crocodile thing. We had a lot of designs for it, really good ones. And then the person we were discussing this with, GSC, just looked at them, looked at us. He was like smiling and said, "I'm not completely sure about this. Let's not go with that." Yeah, the next day I think I was on a call with Adrian and telling him that no fish mutants for us. He was really sad about it. But yeah, that's one of the things we had to take out from the game because of the IP. Do you have anything, guys?
I actually have something.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, sorry.
It's very mundane and a bit silly because, you know, when working on a game with IP that's not ours, we had to accept basically all the files with GSC representative. And most of the time it worked perfectly well. There were almost non-feedback, nothing to change, especially with Paweł as our great specialist on Stalker. So they also put lots of trust into us, but there is this one thing that we just couldn't get it right, you know? The image for the non-stop drink item.
I knew that, yeah, already.
You know, we had like at least 5 or 6 different attempts on making the correct can for this item that we were just sending in to the GSC representative, and they were like, "Okay, I will check it," and then no, sorry, our PR team doesn't approve, or our other team doesn't approve, and I just wanted to make the files ready for printing, you know. And we couldn't do this because of the non-stop drink can.
Yeah, it was worth telling. Sorry for me wanting to take this away from you.
Okay, Stalker is officially concluded. What project do you work on now? Maybe Stalker 2? Let's start with Filip, I think.
Okay, so looking at your shirt.
He's working on shirts.
I'm working on shirts. No, but actually I'm working on This War of Mine, the second edition, and yeah, that's it actually.
Yeah, so well, currently I'm working on Grim Coven, the game that had campaign last year, and we are close to finishing it, the development process and all the stuff. So this is my project for now.
Stalker 2, maybe sometime down the road. We'll see what the future brings. Yeah, but my current project is still heavily guarded secret.
Yeah,
Like everyone in company knows already, but I can't tell you just yet. So yeah, I think that's the answer. Do you have any funny or interesting stories related to this project during development? Fun facts, mistakes, etc. Fun facts? Yeah, getting our 2D department to drop the weapons.
Conjuring the weapons.
Yeah, discussing with them, because I don't know how many of you know, but in the original trilogy, all the games are mirrored, basically, from the real counterparts. So they were drawing the mirrored weapons for a long time, and I'm a huge gun nut. and I was all the time watching them and telling them that it's not Stalker-y. Now they have the proper one, so you need to like flip it over. Where they were like, what do you mean, like turning them 180 degrees? Yes, but not in this plane. And yeah, that was a tough job, really. Okay, so another one. Yay! Piotr, from your approach, you probably have some say.
What was the design slash thought process behind picking which monsters are going to be included in the game? Well, I don't actually have nothing to say. I just wanted it to be quick.
Okay, I'll take this one. Basically, whatever was iconic to the series. So from the beginning, I knew we will have zombies in the game, and we will have controllers in the game.
Snorks?
And Snorks, of course, like Snorks were the poster boys of the franchise. So yeah, but the idea with Poltergeist to make him actually visible as the miniature was really hard for me to process, because they are invisible in the game. So having a visible mini was difficult for some time. But yeah, it's a cool mini, so he had to be invisible way. Pseudo Giants, of course. We already spoke about adding some new monsters, so you had a glimpse how it went. Why some of them were left out, because I already read that some people are asking, where are the flashes? Here, companion flash, here we go. In my opinion, in original trilogy, they were filler basic monsters, and they weren't so interesting to play against in the board game, and we could only make specified amount of the minis and of the standees in the base game, so we had to unfortunately choose to cut some of them. So we went with the what's cool and interesting gameplay wise, and then if we could, we added those iconic things in different add-ons, so in sort to have a nod towards the well-known stuff which wasn't so interesting gameplay wise, like flashes and swarms in shape of the crawl. So yeah, that's that basically. This is a big one again. Ooh, a good question for the beginning. So I will be asking this question. Piotr, how it all started for you? Did you know this whole Stalker lore before working on the game? Have you played games, read the book that the franchise is, so to say, inspired by? Did you watch the movie by Tarkovsky? How did you feel you heard that you will work with Stalker IP?
Well, I had almost none connection to Stalker before starting working on this project. I basically knew the Stalker LARPs because I'm a LARPer, but I never participated in any. And it was actually my very first project when I started working in Awakened Realms. So I began the job and I got Stalker, and I got this in the very middle of the whole process. So it was most of all
it was jumping at the deep end,
yeah. It was a great adventure, let's say, though it's not the word I'm looking for.
Challenge.
Challenge, yes, thank you very much. It just disappeared from my head. It was a great challenge, and I just took it, you know. I basically didn't have a choice, to be honest. But as I came into this project, I do feel that I made a real difference. And when I took the things, all the processes into my hands, it finally began to work smoothly, I would say, or at least started to.
Yeah. Philip, how did it started for you? I know already the answer,
Yeah,
but
I know that
they
you
don't. So.
You also gotta know. So I'm not a huge fan of shooting games, so I have never tried playing Stalker to this day, but I had to make a really big research on how the world of the zone works and how this all feels. So I spent a lot of time reading Stalker Wiki and also watching some gameplays and reading some Reddit and just to know the game better. But I didn't feel the drive to play because I'm just bad at aiming. I thought that I would be terrible at the game, so I didn't even try. But I was really interested in exploring the world, but yeah, I would have to be wielding a sword and a shield, and that would feel so much better for me. But I love the anomalies, the whole uncertainty of this world, that you may jump into anomaly or an invisible enemy and all of that, but never really tried playing it. But when it comes to working on the game, I really like the IP, and for me as a developer, and it's still just a lot of mechanics and numbers, and not that much focus on the whole team and feelings. And how about you?
Oh, I was waiting for this question to appear. Yeah, so I am this huge Stalker fan within the team. I was when I heard that we might work with this IP, I went to my higher ups and I told them, either you give me this game to work with, or this is my resignation if you want it. So basically, I presented them with this nice question, and they answered how I wanted them to. So yeah, here we are, a few years later. Yeah, I played all the old games, also the new one. I enjoyed them very much. I also watched the movie a lot of times. We did a watching after we knew we will be making the game, so the people will have this feeling. And I remember after finishing the watching the movie, one of the girls in the logistics department asked me, "Okay, so where are all the guns? And where are the anomalies? Where are the mutants?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is like another thing inspired by it." Ah, okay, so this is not like the same one. No. This is something a bit different, based on the one and similar idea. But a lot of people were like, okay, saw this big disconnection between those different media. I already told you that I was doing Stalker LARPs. I think when we announced the board game, one of the guys from another Polish company told in the interview, when they asked him about the Stalker, the board game, that I look all the time like I'm LARPing some Stalkers. So that's why I was a good fit for it. Yeah. Piotr, do you?
Oh yeah, sure. So, what issues did you encounter with scaling the game for different amounts of players, and what did you do to mitigate them? So, it's fully on Philip.
It's Philip's question, yeah.
Yeah, so We had a lot of troubles when I'm not sure if I want to call those troubles, but
Challenges.
no, challenges.
Yes, challenges, only
is
challenges.
also a bad word. I would call it puzzle maybe or something like that, because I really love solving those puzzles. So we had a few places where we scaled the game. The first one is by the different number of random events between those events that come and are connected to the scenario, those scenario events. So when we need more time because there's only one player, we add some extra events or something like that. Another place is unknown tokens. So those tokens spawn enemies on the board, and the number of enemies depends on the number of small icons on those tokens. And when you set up the game, or in any moment of the game when you need to use those tokens, you just choose different tokens based on the number of players you have in your game. And another place is somewhere else we did some other tweaks, like on some
Solo player?
environment cards. Oh, solo player. Solo player is another tricky thing to do, because solo player is in heavy disadvantage, because like the number of actions the solo player is able to perform each round of the game is halved compared to two players. So we thought that maybe somehow we can make solo player have more actions, and we added those extra sliders that you place on top of your PDA board, your player board, so you have 3 actions in each turn, making it more even. And we didn't have to make some big tweaks to the whole thing when doing the solo player mode. So yeah, there were a lot of challenges, but overall I think that the game works fine, like for each number of players. Maybe it's a bit longer when you play with in a group of 4, because yeah, there's a lot of discussion around the table, where to move, what to do next. But yeah, those were some major difficulties. There's an image.
Do you know this GIF? Was there any meme that inspired you while making a game? Are there Easter eggs in the game yet to be discovered? I won't show you the GIF. I know this one pretty well.
I know this one, but not with Stalker motif. Will people see this? Yeah.
Okay. So, was there any memes that inspired us while making a game? There is a lot of like very internal jokes we are doing throughout. I loved that the guys, the testers, they didn't knew Sidorovich from the computer games, but when they started to work on the zone exploration, and I already implemented Sidorovich, it took them like 2 or 3 zone exploration phases to already go into this already existing meme of Sidorovich. Like they already knew that this is this cheapskate who will swindle you on everything.
I actually named this guy Sidorovich because I found it on Stalker wiki page,
Yeah.
and he was a trader, and I implemented him as like the first trader you meet, and Sambor was like, "Oh, this is perfect," because his prices were like really
precious.
high, and when you wanted to sell something to him, he gave you basically nothing, and this accidentally captured the spirit of Sidorovich.
Yeah. Are there any Easter eggs in the game? Yes, they are. I don't think I saw anyone mentioning them yet. So yeah, there are some Easter eggs to be discovered. And as with Easter eggs, I won't tell you what are those. It's for you up to explore and discover. Will there be support for community-made campaigns / enemies / items? Might be cool to have a way for people to make and share their own Stalker-themed stories. Okay, so me as an author of the game, I'm fully in support of you making your community-based mods, so to say. The original computer game series has a lot of this mod community around the game, and we were also researching those when we were making the board game. And I think this is one of those IPs which are widely known as this modification-friendly IPs, and we also wanted it to carry over to the board game. And already some members of the community made their own mods, which allow you to play larger campaigns comprised of those zone survival missions. I would love to see more community-made maps for the zone survival, for example, community-made missions or even campaigns. As to question if we would give you a way to make them, I think there might be something coming in the future. I'm not 100% sure, so let's leave it at that. But yeah, there might be something to help you coming from our side. Okay. What board games did you use as inspiration when creating Stalker the board game? Board games. A lot of those went into just naming a few of the ones I worked on in Awakened Realms. So for sure you can see some Etherfield's inspiration in here, in some parts. Nemesis, it was a big learning opportunity for me when I started to work in the company, and I took a lot of really important lessons when working on it. What else? In the time we really watched closely Aridia. I think it's being shipped right now. It was a bit similar to what I wanted in Stalker, so I looked closely how they tackle different issues there. What else? Of course, Descent, because this is like one of the iconic dungeon crawlers. I took some inspiration from our work on ISS Vanguard, especially in the zone exploration phase. I think we did quite a good work on this one. Yay!
Yeah, we had some bigger plans, but it just didn't felt right.
Yeah, it was too much for the for Stalker. What else? At some point, this War of Mine was like a big inspiration for Stalker, not only in terms of this heavy theme, but also in terms of how I wanted gameplay to look at some point. But it went away really quickly. Oh, and the last one. And luckily, this one is a good one to end with. How do you feel now when the development is finally concluded? Piotr, how do you feel now, knowing that the Stalker is, in the factory being printed?
Well,
hopefully without any further issues.
Is this wrong to say that I feel relieved, in a way?
You gotta feel relieved.
This was my first project. It was great challenge. I learned a lot, and I mean it. now when I'm working on next projects, I regularly remember some things that happened in Stalker and some, fires, dangers, alerts, problems, difficulties, other challenges, because it's never easy to make a game. And yeah, I feel relieved and proud that I had an impact on this and I helped in creating this. Sometimes Paweł sends me some stuff from BGG or some reviews of people saying, "Oh, we love this game; it's so great," and it's just a great pride to see this.
Filip?
Really.
I don't feel relieved. That's not the feeling, but I'm happy. I'm happy that I can have this game in my house and I can play it with my friends and they enjoy the game. I had some friends came to me over the weekend and we played. I believe that was the second mission from the first campaign. I don't know if I should spoil things. The second
Not too
mission.
much.
Second mission, and the next day I'm here at work. I'm doing some things, and suddenly I've got the message from my friends telling me this game is great. I've been thinking about it all day, and I want to play more. And those little things like that message make me want to continue my journey and make more great games. So that's me, my friends, and other people everywhere can enjoy them, and I'm just genuinely happy. I remember when the first ratings on BGG started showing up. We were we were just sending to each other. Oh, it's 8.1. Oh, it's 8.2, and it's still rising. And each day when the total score rises, me or Paweł just sends to each other the actual score, telling.
Yeah, we are looking.
So thank you for those.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for rating the game. Really, it's a lot. It's a lot. How do I feel after development is finally concluded? It's not the freshest feeling, I would say, because for me it's been like, let's say, 3 months or something like that. Maybe a bit more or less. Yeah, something like that. Because like the really this boring factory stuff is not the it's not boring, it's very important, and you need to remember that all the time. But yeah, this is not the part I'm really into during making of the game. And at some point I just ask for like monthly update, what's going on with my game, is it ready yet? I'm a bit like you guys, is it ready yet? I'm asking Piotr, like, can we already play it? So yeah. How do I felt at the beginning after we gave away the files to the printers, so to say? Scared, like totally scared, because what if we manage to miss something and it's really crucial to the game experience? But then you see that probably everything is okay, and maybe it's all good and it won't explode in your faces at some point. So yeah, now when I saw the ratings and so on, I'm also relieved, I'd say, because it's a great stress, this moment between giving away the files and then receiving your opinions. So yeah, those are two biggest feelings at the beginning. Then the pride comes in, I'd say. I'm quite happy that we managed to make this game this way.
Happy.
Yeah, understatement of the year. I'm so happy that it worked out in the end, and we could make this game and you enjoy it. And yeah, it's all thanks to you basically, because if you wouldn't show us that you want this game, we probably wouldn't make it. And yeah, it was our dream come true, I'd say. So yeah, this was part of the Stalker, the board game team here at Awaken Realms, answering your questions. Piotr and Filip, say goodbye nicely.
Goodbye, thank you.
Goodbye, thank you for all the questions. And remember, write us on BGG because it's really helpful for us as well. Thank you guys and girls.